start with the other pivot table, I'll just give you a simple question, and then we'll get going. In the meantime, we can also do a bit about the offset function also. If I just tell you in a quick manner, let my file open and then I'll tell you the offset function also. Offset function was very simple. It will actually get you a value depending on the rows and columns that you give along with the reference. So let me just give you an example of that, a very simple example, and then I'll move with the pivot example. If I have very simple example like this, I'll not write much data over here. I'll simply write the marks are very simple. Let's not take the duplicate value so that we can make out the difference. Then we have, let's do like this. Okay. So if I just use the offset function, it will ask me for 3 arguments which are required: reference, row, and the column. And the height and width are optional, that we may or we may not give. So reference basically means the column address that you want to highlight for the particular fetching of a value. Then we say A1, and then I say any row and any column, and let's see what we get. So I say 1, 2, and I say enter. If you see, we have got 12 number over here. Now let's interpret what are we getting. So we gave A1, which is the first column, right? And in A1, first of all, we'll select the A1, and then from that A1 reference, it will start asking, it will actually start counting B, C, D, 1, 2, 3 like that. So reference is A1, and from A1, it has to start from the first row. And since this is the first row, the column has to be second. The column will not be counted from A, but rather it will be counted from B, right? So in the first row, you give the value of the second column, right? So it is 1, 2. So we have got the 12 value over here. I repeat another example with the, let me just try changing some values in the offset function so that we are more clear with what we are doing. So offset this time I give B1, comma, let me take 2, 2 bracket, and then I close the offset spelling is wrong, so I need to correct that. So I'll say enter, and this time I got 27. So let me just highlight that, and let me now check what we got. So I gave B1, which is this reference column. So you can see that starting from the reference column, it will start counting those 1, 2, 3. So second means this, and column means this. So this is 1 and 2. So accordingly, this will give you the 27 value, but not the 13th value, which is the first column as per this reference. Let me try one more, and then I'll move on. That was very simple, so I wanted to do first. So let me now give C1. C1, 1, 1. Let's say enter, and let's see what we get. So we got 26 this time. Let me highlight the number. So what are we getting? So from the C column, which is the reference column, I've given 1 by 1. In the very first row, select the first column, which we have got here as 26. So what does it mean? That the reference address that we give over here, it will not count that as a one column. After the reference column, it will start counting the other next column as the 1 column, 2 column, 3 column, and so on, right? Let me give one more with respect to row now. So if I say offset bracket A1, comma, This time I'll give 3 comma 2. Let's see what we get. So we got 14, and with that reason only I gave unique value so that we can differentiate what we are getting and from where we are getting. So 14, I recall again, is a value represented by the third row, right? This is 1, 2, 3, and your second column, 1 and 2, right? Similarly, if I give one more time, it will be equal to offset. If I just let me give d1 and let's see what we get. So it is d1 1 comma 1, and I close the bracket, and let's see what we get. So we get 0, and we are getting 0, reason being, if d is the reference column, after d we have no data after d, so it will return the 0 value in that case. Another example, if I take offset and I just change the number with c1 comma I say 2 comma 7, right? So I can very clearly see that in my sheet we have 1, 2, 3, 4 columns, and that number will start actually after the reference column. So it is C1 2 comma 7. Let's see what we get. So we again get 0. That means C1 is this column which is the reference address, and in that particular address we have to start with the second row, right? And in that, since there is no seventh column after D, it will give you the 0 value. Let me do one more time. It is offset reference D1 comma, let me now give 7 comma 1. Let's see what we get. So I got 20. So 7, if you see, our rows are there. So accordingly, it will give me the 7th row and the first column. In a similar manner, let me try to give more rows just to see what I'm getting. So I say A1, and this time I say 20 comma 2, and I close the bracket. And this time I will get 0. Reason being, there are no 20 rows in the particular range that we are talking about, right? So just in case, you have an application where you are wanting to refer to a value, after first column or second column, then accordingly you can use this offset function for the purpose, right? The application of this could be where you don't want to include the roll numbers, or you don't want to include the employee IDs in the answer. In that case, you may want to fetch any other data, leaving that roll number or leaving that employee ID, which might be the reference column selected by us in the offset function. So another application of this could be, again, it is going to fetch your data depending on whatever row, whatever column you give over there, and height and width, they are optional.